As per ancient Indian tradition, the seven bright stars that form the Big Dipper aren't just celestial bodies. They represent seven legendary sages whose wisdom has guided humanity for thousands of years. In this video, I want to share their remarkable stories with you and how they connect to something deeply meaningful in our modern lives. These seven sages, known as Saptarishis, carry profound lessons about life, wisdom, and transformation. What's fascinating is that many families today still trace their lineage back to these ancient teachers through something called Gotra. Maharishi Atri represents pure spiritual devotion. His meditation was so powerful that he became the father of three divine sons, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma, each representing a different aspect of spiritual wisdom, teaching us that true devotion can manifest divine qualities within us. But these aren't just stories. Each sage actually represents a different path to wisdom that we can follow today. Take the path of humble learning, for example, which brings us to Maharishi Bharadvaja, who received the sacred Vedas directly from Lord Indra. His story reminds us that the greatest knowledge comes to those who approach learning with genuine humility and curiosity. Now imagine mastering humanity's hardest emotion. Gautama Maharishi conquered forgiveness. Through meditation, he developed spiritual strength and deep compassion, proving true power lies in our ability to forgive. But what happens when this kind of wisdom meets warrior strength? That's exactly what we see in our next sage. Maharishi Jamadagni was the father of the legendary warrior Parashurama, yet he perfectly balanced discipline with moral strength. His teachings show us that the true power isn't about having strength, but knowing when and how to use it wisely. Speaking of power and creation, our next sage has perhaps the most extraordinary family story. Kashyapa Maharishi became the source of all creation itself. His children included gods, humans, serpents, and even demons. His story beautifully illustrates that despite our differences, all life shares a common origin and deserves respect. Now, we move on to the one who became the ultimate teacher, the sage who had the most important student in history. Maharishi Vasishtha served as the wise guru to Lord Rama himself. He embodies calmness, wisdom, and compassion, teaching us that true leadership comes from inner peace rather than force or aggression. And finally, we come to perhaps the most inspiring transformation story of all. Vishwamitra Maharishi began as a powerful king but transformed himself completely into one of history's greatest sages through determination and spiritual practice. His journey proves that no matter where we start in life, we have the power to completely transform ourselves. Ancient Indians mapped each one of these seven sages to the seven stars in the Big Dipper. For thousands of years, people have used these stars to navigate and to mark seasons. And remember that Gotram I mentioned in the beginning of the video? Every Indian family traces their lineage back to one of these seven sages, which means that millions of people today carry the spiritual DNAs of these Maharshis. Tonight, when you look up at those seven stars, you won't just see distant lights. You'll see seven ancient teachers reminding you that wisdom is eternal, transformation is possible, and that you are connected to something much bigger than yourself.